Greetings. If you're here, you're likely stuck on the New York Times Connections puzzle hash 785 from August 4th, 2025. I'll guide you through its twists, offering hints and ultimately, the answers. NYT Connections is a daily challenge. 16 words, 4 hidden categories. Your task? Group them by their secret links, 4 words per set. Let's break down today's puzzle, layer by layer, until the solution is clear. Let's begin. Our first category, creepy crawlies. The very phrase might send a shiver down your spine, conjuring up images of tiny legs, twitching antennae, and the subtle, almost imperceptible movements that happen just out of sight. These are the creatures that lurk in the corners of our homes, the ones that scuttle away when the lights flicker on, and the ones that seem to appear out of nowhere, making us jump or recoil in surprise. These are the small, scuttling creatures that haunt the edges of our lives. They're the unexpected guests in our kitchens, bathrooms, and basements, always present, yet rarely welcome. Whether it's the sudden dash of a cockroach across the floor or the slow, deliberate crawl of a beetle along the wall, these animals have a way of making their presence known in the most unsettling ways. Not majestic animals, but the insects and invertebrates we often avoid. They don't inspire awe like lions or eagles, nor do they evoke the affection we feel for pets. Instead, they're the ones we instinctively shy away from, the ones that make us check under our shoes or behind the furniture. Yet, despite our discomfort, they are everywhere, on the ground, in the air, and sometimes even in our food. Picture what might crawl across an old book or appear after rain. Imagine the soft, segmented body of a worm wriggling through damp soil, or a bug making its way across a forgotten page. After a storm, when the world is fresh and wet, these creatures emerge in droves, taking advantage of the moisture and the cover of darkness to explore their world, and sometimes ours. The words you want are common names, not scientific ones. Don't worry about Latin or complicated classifications. Think about the names you learned as a child, the ones you might shout when you spot something crawling across your desk. These are the names that everyone knows, the ones that have become part of our everyday language. Think, the builder of colonies, the web spinner, the night flyer, and the earth dweller. Each of these creatures has a role in the ecosystem, a job that they perform with tireless dedication. The ant always working with its colony to build intricate tunnels and gather food. The spider patiently spinning its web, waiting for an unsuspecting meal. The moth drawn to the glow of a lamp in the darkness, and the worm quietly aerating the soil beneath our feet. The answers: ant, spider, moth, worm. These are the classic creepy crawlies, the ones that almost everyone can recognize. They're the stars of childhood stories, the subjects of countless science lessons, and the creatures that have inspired both fear and fascination for generations. These are the creepy crawlies, the ones that trigger our primal discomfort. There's something about the way they move, the way their bodies are built, that taps into a deep-seated instinct. Maybe it's the unpredictability of their paths, or the sheer number of legs, or the way they seem to appear from nowhere. Whatever the reason, these creatures have a unique power to unsettle us. But it's not all fear and revulsion. For many, these creatures are a source of endless curiosity. Children in particular are often fascinated by bugs, watching them, collecting them, and learning about their strange and wonderful lives. In classrooms and science fairs, bugs are displayed and studied, their unique adaptations and behaviors celebrated as marvels of evolution. Their connection is simple. They're the classic bugs and invertebrates we all know. They're the ones that show up in storybooks, cartoons, and even in our dreams. Whether you love them or hate them, you can't deny their place in our collective imagination. Sometimes our interactions with these creatures are gentle, a careful relocation of a spider outside, or a moment spent watching an ant carry a crumb many times its size. Other times, they're less welcome, prompting a quick swat or a dash for the nearest tissue. But in every case, these encounters remind us that we share our world with countless other forms of life, each with its own story. Don't be distracted by other animal words. Focus on the obvious crawlers. In this puzzle, it's easy to get sidetracked by more exotic or unusual creatures, but the answers are right in front of you. Look for the names that jump out, the ones that feel familiar and a little bit unsettling. Once you spot one or two, the rest fall into place. It's like finding the corner pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Suddenly, the whole picture starts to make sense. The more you look, the more connections you'll see, and soon you'll have the whole set. Select them, submit, and move on. There's a certain satisfaction in solving this first set, in recognizing the familiar and conquering the uncomfortable. It's a small victory, but an important one. This is the puzzle's easiest set, a foothold before things get tricky. It's your chance to build confidence, to get comfortable with the format, and to prepare yourself for the challenges ahead. The grid shrinks and the challenge deepens. With each new category, the puzzles will become more complex, the answers less obvious. But for now, you've got a solid start. The next categories will demand sharper thinking. You'll need to look beyond the obvious to make connections and spot patterns that aren't immediately clear. But don't worry, you're ready for it. We've cleared the shadows, now let's tackle the artificial. Onward. The world of puzzles is full of surprises, and with each step, you'll discover new ways to challenge your mind and expand your perspective. So take a deep breath, shake off the last of your discomfort, and get ready for what comes next. Next up, woody car air fresheners. These little scented wonders have been a staple in cars for decades, providing a burst of fragrance that can transform any vehicle's interior. But have you ever stopped to think about the origins of these scents and the trees they are named after? These are tree names, but not just any trees. They are the names of trees that have been carefully selected for their distinctive and memorable scents. Each tree has its own unique aroma that has been captured and replicated in these air fresheners. They're the ones used for those iconic scented car fresheners. The classic green pine tree air freshener is perhaps the most recognizable, but there are many others that have become popular over the years. Think of the cardboard pine tree dangling from a rearview mirror. It's a symbol of freshness and a reminder of the great outdoors, even when you're stuck in traffic. The answers: pine, birch, oak, cedar. These trees have been chosen for their distinctive scents that evoke memories of nature and the outdoors. Pine with its crisp and invigorating aroma, birch with its fresh and slightly sweet scent, oak with its rich and earthy fragrance, and cedar with its warm and woody notes. These words evoke forests, but here they're reduced to artificial scents. The natural essence of these trees has been captured and transformed into a convenient and portable form that can be enjoyed anywhere. The trick is not just trees, but trees as car air freshener scents. It's about capturing the essence of these trees and distilling it into a form that can be easily used and enjoyed in our daily lives. Pine, birch, oak, cedar, each a victim of marketing, not nature. These trees have been transformed into products that are sold and marketed for their scents, rather than being appreciated for their natural beauty and ecological importance. Select these four, and the grid shrinks again. The choices become more limited as we focus on these specific scents and their associations. Now, only 8 words remain. These words represent the next level of abstraction, moving beyond the tangible objects and into the realm of ideas and concepts. The next connections are more abstract. No more objects or creatures. We are now dealing with the essence of these words and what they represent on a deeper level. Prepare to look at the words themselves, not just their meanings. It's time to delve into the language and the associations that these words bring to mind. The puzzle's final act is about to begin. As we piece together the final elements, we will uncover the deeper connections and meanings behind these words and their associations. The third category, spelling words by initial letter. These words are classic examples for teaching the alphabet. Think B is for B, Y is for yard, W is for Y, C is for C. The answers, B, yard, Y, C. Their meanings don't matter. It's about their use as letter examples. This is a test of pattern recognition, not vocabulary. Once you see the link, the group is obvious. Select them, and only 4 words remain. The final category is revealed by default. Let's see what connects the last set. Now, we arrive at the final and perhaps most playful group in our puzzle journey, letter-sounding words. These are words that, when spoken aloud, sound exactly like a single letter of the alphabet. It's a delightful twist that challenges you to listen closely, rather than simply read or analyze the meaning of the word. This group is all about the sounds we make and hear, not the definitions we know or the way the words look on the page. Take the word Q, for example. When you say it out loud, it's pronounced exactly like the letter Q. Even though the spelling is quite different and the meaning refers to a line of people or things, the sound is what matters here. This clever use of homophones is what makes this group so unique and fun to solve. The same goes for the word P. When spoken, it's indistinguishable from the letter P. Then there's T, which sounds just like the letter T. And finally, O, which is pronounced exactly like the letter O. Each of these words is a perfect example of how language can play tricks on our ears, making us think of letters instead of meanings. So the answers for this group are Q, P, T, and O. Each one is a word that, when you say it, you're actually saying the name of a letter. It's a subtle but brilliant connection that rewards careful listening and a playful approach to language. What's fascinating about this group is that it's a purely auditory connection. The meaning of the word doesn't matter at all, only the way it sounds when spoken. This is a reminder that language is not just about what we see or read, but also about what we hear. Sometimes the answer is hidden in the sound, not the sense. It's a clever twist that forces you to shift your perspective. Instead of searching for meaning or looking for visual clues, you have to rely on your ears. You must hear the answer, not see it. This kind of puzzle encourages a different kind of thinking, one that values sound and phonetics over spelling or definition. With this, the puzzle is complete. You've navigated through 4 distinct categories, each with its own unique logic and challenge. Creepy crawlies, woody car air fresheners, spelling words by initial letter, and now, letter-sounding words. Each group required a different way of thinking, from visual patterns to wordplay to listening skills. By sorting the answers into these 4 groups, you've imposed order on what first seemed like a chaotic jumble of words. You've found the patterns, made the connections, and solved the grid. It's a satisfying feeling to see everything fall into place, each answer fitting perfectly into its category. You've not only solved the puzzle, but you've also sharpened your mind and your ear for language. These kinds of challenges are more than just games. They're exercises in creativity, logic, and lateral thinking. Every time you tackle a puzzle like this, you're training your brain to see and hear the world in new ways. So take a moment to enjoy the brief satisfaction of a puzzle well solved. Savor the feeling of accomplishment, knowing you've unraveled every clue and discovered every connection. And remember, there's always another puzzle waiting, just around the corner, ready to challenge you again. My work here is done. You sought answers, and now you have them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, consider subscribing for more. More puzzles await, and I'll be here to guide you through them. Check the description for any extra details. Until next time, another puzzle, another challenge. Farewell.